Good afternoon, Jan.
Good morning, Michael. How are you doing?
Yeah, very very good. Yeah, it's been quite a quite a busy week. And during this week, I've been building Jinaga apps in the MCP and using them for real work. So last time, uh, I had started doing that, and then you noticed that you could see my apps when you logged in.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I got that
That-
fixed pretty quickly and
mhm,
redeployed. And that yeah, the core problem there was that um, I didn't plumb the identity system from the AI into the MCP, and the MCP was obtaining a token using a service account.
mhm.
So everybody using the MCP gets the same service account. Um,
So I had the
yeah,
same rights.
yeah. Yeah, and with the UI, when you accept an invitation, it created a workspace for you, granted access to you as a person and to a service, so that it could provision your database on the back end, um,
Mhm,
and so so yeah, rearrange that. Um, yeah, so first of all, the service account didn't need individualized access to um, each of the different application or workspaces. Um, Instead, it could say, well, every workspace in this domain I can provision databases for, and that's the
mhm.
only thing I can do. Um, and then, um, so yeah, that changed the provisioning and the UI, so it didn't when you accepted an invitation, it just uh, made you the owner of it, and then also uh, fix the MCP so that it used the token. It went through the whole login process. We could see, yeah, authenticate. Okay, log in with Google. Okay, now you're all logged in. But then it used the service token for all of its replicator calls. So it's like, oh, okay, change that one place right there. So now
Mhm.
the control replicator knows that I am me and you are you, and then it can keep things separate.
Okay.
Which means in the meantime, the workspaces that I had created and that you had created, um, those were no longer valid because they were provisioned using the old system, and
Mhm.
uh, and so yeah, I created some brand new or a brand new workspace and sent you an invitation as well.
Yep. I got the
Hmm.
invitation about half an hour ago.
Oh,
I renamed the code on my main computer.
uh-huh.
Then I realized I wanted to work on the remote computer, the one where I do all the testing, which I take
Hmm.
over with Hyperius. So I signed out. I went to the remote computer and then I say, okay, stop, wait for Michael to see this. Um, let me show.
Okay.
Probably it's nothing, but I just wanted to show you that. So here we are on the remote,
Hmm.
and that's still in the old account.
Okay.
So I didn't started the new account
Hmm.
there, but so the new account was redeemed on my main computer.
Hmm.
So what I did here with the old account before I deleted it, I say list all the applications in the Jinaga MCP server.
Hmm.
So there are no applications. You do have access to two workspaces.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
At
and
least the anonymous personal workspace, that one is a new workspace. Interesting.
yeah, but so what I was thinking initially, I think it cannot be because I didn't log in with a new account on this computer. But so both are linked to my Google account.
Hmm. Right.
So is it having workspaces from somewhere else, or is this just
No,
the
this
remainder of the bug before?
Yeah, the first one looks like it is a remainder. The second one is a new workspace. So the invitation is for the account, not for the computer. So when you redeem the invitation and log in using your Google account, then it creates a workspace on my server that is
Mm.
associated with your Google account. And that means you can log in with your Google account anywhere and access that workspace.
So the 610 is the one that is uh, assigned to the new redeem code.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Even I'm still working with the old MCP server.
Yeah, the MCP server itself is it's just published at a URL, so it's kind of like a website. So I
Mm,
upgrade the MCP server, and um, and you can see that upgrade.
okay. And so this workspace here, the old one, that is the one that was part of the old system.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
yeah, that is interesting that you can still see it. I thought that by changing the structure the way that I did, that it would no longer be visible to you, but yeah, it looks like
Mm.
it is.
Right. Let's
So
take a print screen just to be
yeah.
sure before we go further. Okay, I have that one here. So I asked AI why are there two workspaces, but he didn't know.
Yeah, it wouldn't
Uh,
know.
yeah. So proposed me to make a small application. So I say, okay, let's do that. Created a to-do list. Um, so made the facts, added some
hmm
two fact types, actions, and a view. Put some sample data in it, and then I logged into Discord.
Yeah,
But
perfect.
so um, what I would like to do now is go to the MCP. Wait, I am here. Huh? So if I want to get the new one, if I just do reload, will I get the new version or not?
You
Uh,
don't even
and
need to
is there?
reload. Yeah. Um, yeah, go ahead and hit the edit button, and I can show you what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, so there, the URL, that's the same
Hmm?
URL that everybody uses.
Yeah, that's the old one and the new one.
Yeah, yeah. So so this is just the URL to the
Hmm.
staging environment. When I publish this in the production environment, that URL will change to app.jinaga.com/mcp.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I update the software, I'm updating it at that location. I'm just pushing new
Hmm.
software to that environment.
Okay. Um, so there are two things. There is the URL, which is just the software and the resources.
hmm
And there is the workspace, which is assigned to my Google account. In fact.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So when you log into that URL, just like if you were to open your browser and log into a
Mm,
site, then it's going to pull up the data that's associated with you. So yeah, you log
mm.
into Gmail and it's going to pull up your emails. So yeah,
And
same idea.
so here the uh, what is logout gonna do then?
hmm
It's not gonna use it anymore, but I can log in
Yeah, logout
without
will
enter.
It will turn that MCP server that you've got installed back into where it says connect or authenticate. Um,
Okay, so I can
yeah,
just
yeah. Let's go
click
ahead and do
it.
that. So, yep.
Yeah,
Now it needs
and here.
authentication, and so at this point, if you were
Mm,
to ask the AI to use it while it's not authenticated, it would see that it's not authenticated, and
mm.
it could even trigger the authentication from the chat.
Okay. And if I disable it,
Yeah.
I can
Now it
just
can't see it at all.
re-enable it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you disable it and you go back to a chat that you've already started, then it gets really confused. And it says, I can't see that MCP anymore.
And anyway, I can see which version that I have to.
That's a
Probably
good
not.
point. No, I don't expose the version number. Um,
So what you could do is just add a small tool
yeah,
that returns the version number, or just a resource file which contains the version number.
that's probably the better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because yeah, as you can see there, those resource files are
Mm,
just markdown
text
files that
files. Yeah.
um, it can load in order to read how to do things.
Okay. So
Yeah, yeah, and there's
and then,
also there's an endpoint called Who Am I um, that
because that's not
returns the
visible here.
user.
Huh? That who am I is
Yeah,
not
Who Am
the
I should
list.
be in the list.
Ah, here. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
it is in the list. Yeah,
yeah,
because he did use it
yeah,
when I spoke about the workspaces here. Yeah, somewhere he used it as a tool.
right, yes. Yeah, every model has to start from your user account. Um, and so, yeah, sometimes like with the to-do list, uh, the uh, the simplest thing is just to have the next entity fact just directly as a successor to your user. So yeah, in this case, since it built such a small model, I'm guessing that a to-do item is just a successor to your user, and then
Mhm.
it can
Tool.
directly query
Right,
from
we can
from the user.
see it here. Resources, explore the tools. Um, Here the fact types. Because here,
Okay,
so it gave me
there's a
four of
to-do.
these things
Yeah,
already. Why does it say here? Okay, true, diagnostic, replaced. Because
yeah,
this
those
is not
are
fact
yeah
the
those
fact type.
are responses that the agent is getting back from the MCP. So it sent in a fact definition. We're not seeing that here. We're just seeing the response. But
Mm.
then it responded. The MCP server responded with OK, um, and no diagnostics. Um, it did not replace anything, and here's the name of the thing that it just created. So
Okay, so
these
that's
might
just the MCP server protocol.
yeah. Yeah, so these
Okay.
might be useful things for an agent to continue the conversation or to make the next tool call.
And here we have the completion, but then here, um,
Yeah, create to do is an action. So the tool was to create or yeah, to
okay,
define an
yeah,
action.
that's here an action to do and an action for the completion here.
Hmm.
Okay, complete to
Yeah.
do, then code message not found.
Okay, so it was trying to resolve caller identity for to-dos. So
Try.
it probably tried something that's not an actual MCP tool. Not found the bound application standard. Oh, okay. No, it actually did call the who am I MCP, but yeah, this is uh, one of those optimizations that I need to do next. So when it's setting things up inside of the Scratchpad, it hasn't actually created the application until it does the first publish. And until you have an application, you can't you don't have a user fact. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, when it said, "Okay, who am I?" I've set up the Scratchpad. Who am I? So that I could
Mhm.
start calling um, the actions, and it said, "No, you're not a person yet. You're not a
Mm.
user." Um, so yeah, it has to figure that out, and um, so to uh, to do this next level of optimizations, basically, I'm looking for things that it's struggling with and then changing the surface of the MCP tools so that they're a bit more natural and you kind of uh, do the right thing by default. But then, in addition, um, changing the resources to give it better instructions on how to use those MCP tools, as well as the
Mm.
tool description.
Okay.
And then it has fewer false starts like this.
define to-dos for owner. That's back.
Yeah, so here it's creating a specification so that it can ask the question, what are the to-dos? Here's the user.
Mhm.
Um,
But he doesn't have the owner yet.
right, yeah, that's still setting up the structure um, in the scratch pad.
And here we have the actions, the views, has guide. What is that?
Has guide. That's that is part of. Oh, okay, yeah, that's part of the manifest. So, the manifest is a set of instructions for the agent to use this specific application. So when it's creating an application, it's also going to write instructions for the next agent that
Mm,
comes along, so that it knows how to use the actions and the specifications and the pipelines.
mm,
So yeah, here it is setting um, the manifest, and the manifest describes each action. It describes each view, which is
mm.
um, a specification or a pipeline. Um, and so yeah, has guide is does this also have a body of text that kind of gives the overall structure? And so
And
yeah, the
that
agent
body of
typically does that.
yeah, and that body of text, can we see it or not?
Yes, yeah, you can ask the agent to show you the application manifest and the scratchpad.
Because the manifest is this one, eh? No, that's that file.
Um, yeah, so this is the response that we're getting back from the agent first
Yeah.
creating the manifest. So we might be
Let's
able to, yeah, let's just go ahead and ask it to
show
show us the
me
manifest.
the applications manifest. Yes.
There we go.
There is the guide.
Yep. So yeah, the guide is uh, um, is more general information, but then inside of this structured
Use when
response.
example
Mhm.
actions. Yeah, complete to do, create to do, complete to do, completed at. Okay, and to do's. As to see guide to do's. It. Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Mm,
information that the agent needs in order to make those calls. But yeah, since the agent needs to have it, you can just ask for it and it'll
yeah,
show you. Yeah.
and then show me the sketch pad.
Yeah, and this would list all of the definitions. So every fact type, every specification, every action.
Mm,
Oh, including the manifest.
okay. Match was last published, no unpublished. Okay,
Yeah.
so here we have the complete model.
hmm Yeah, so 3 fact types, a
Yeah.
couple of actions, and specification. Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, from here you like the task list to do. We can see that the owner Jinaga user. So that's just a direct reference to you as the logged in user. That way, with the specification, let's get the to dos for owner. We pass in that user and then immediately join to the to dos.
mm,
And then now for
oh
each
yeah.
to do, we're getting the title when it was created, the reference. So
Mm,
that's a new feature just for the MCP, using the ampersand. Now it's able to get a fact reference. Um, it still has the capability of getting a hash, so you can use the hash symbol. So hash to do would just give you
mm,
the hash for it, but reference to do gives it back the JSON structure that is um, the reference that it would then use for the next the next call. So that allows it to chain things together.
Okay.
Prior to that, it was
Mm,
taking a hash and then taking a type and building a JSON structure and then making the call. So it was going through 4 different steps in order to chain these things together.
mm.
And it's like, well, let's make it easy for you.
And so in this way, we can actually build whatever model we want.
Yes, exactly.
So even systems with a single use pattern
Hmm.
should be known to the agent.
Yes, yes. The single use pattern shows up inside of an action. So
Mm,
you just begin a single use block, and it creates that single use user. And then as that single use user creates all the facts that are inside of the block, and then you can
mm,
leave the block, and now you're back to the logged in user.
mm. And so the applications that are inside, um, the purpose is really that they stay inside and that users are using them through the portal.
That's right. Yes, yes. And so they that allows you to kind of grow the application as you're using it. So that's a lot of what I've experienced this past week. Is using using this application. Like we use an application to keep track of my networking activities, and then said, "Oh well, one of the things that we tend to do is not just randomly contact people, but instead have a focused target. So we want to target companies in this vertical or this specific company and look for people who work there. Um, and so I said, go ahead and keep track of my targets. Here's the one that I'm working on right now, and then integrate that with the model. So um, so yeah, it's able to come up with those model changes with example data, um, update the model, put the data in, and immediately use it.
So can it also adapt the model and adapt the data?
Hmm.
The the upgrade problem that we
Yes,
were thinking about before.
yes, yes, yeah. I have actually had. Uh, what was the upgrade? I'm trying to remember the specific upgrade problem that I ran into this weekend. Um, So basically, with my knowledge of historical modeling, I was able to guide it through the upgrade. Um,
Mm,
and that's because none of this versioning instructions, none of this guidance for how to do historical modeling is in the resources yet. Um, but uh, uh, but yeah, so there was one case where I did need to make a structural change to the model. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. This was with respect to networking. Initially, the name of the contact, well, no, the company of the contact was a field inside of the contact fact. Um, and then need to target a company. So it says, well, um, yeah, I can't look up your existing contacts from that company because that's a search based on a field, and that's not something that a specification can do. Specification searches based on relationships with facts. So I need to take this company idea and elevate it to a fact. Um, and so that meant changing the structure of the contact to remove the company field.
mm,
And so I had to explain to it that doing that is not going to change the identity of the existing facts. They will still have the same hash. Um, so um, yeah, so don't worry about that. Um, you can remove a field from the fact definition, and if it's on an existing fact, you just won't be able to see that field anymore.
mm,
So, so with that information, it was able to create a plan and say, oh, okay, that means I need to define the company and then publish that, and then go through your existing contacts and create companies for each of them. Um,
mm,
and while it was doing that, it also created the name um, uh, as a mutable property fact, so the company was just an ID. Um, and then I can create that entity relationship um, that so I can create a mutable property that is a reference to another fact, the reference pattern. And then after that, I can go back and drop the company field, and everything will be all set. So yeah, it went through that process, but it had to be coached a little bit how to get there.
Because there are no resources yet that explain this procedure.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, part
Once.
of this process is going to be to explore the various version upgrade paths.
Mm,
That one worked for that scenario, but other scenarios are going to be different. And then uh, and then figure out how much or how little extra guidance does it need.
mm,
So the uh, the framework that I'm using for that kind of work is an eval framework that, given this task and access to the MCP, you can do many rounds with the MCP. Um, then give me the final result, and then I will judge the final results using both a deterministic uh, checker and an LLM as judge. So, deterministically, does it actually produce a set of facts? Does it produce valid factual, that kind of stuff? And then LLM as judge, take a look at the model that was produced. I expect to see a new uh, fact that represents a company, and use the mutable property pattern and all that stuff. And then the LLM's judge is given the results and my expectations, and instructed to say respond with just yes or no,
mm.
and basically then run that as a unit test.
Okay.
But
Um,
yeah, the really cool thing about those unit tests, one last thing there, is that not only does it tell you pass or fail, but it also tells you how many tool calls did it make, how many resources did it access, how many tokens did it use, and and then you can go through the process of refining your tools and your resources in order to bring the token count down and bring the number of round trips down based on what you see. So you can really optimize things.
and I still had two screen prints that I made here. Um, Let me show them. Um, so I stop this streaming and I do the other one. Um, so that was a screen print of my main computer
Mm-hmm.
when I went for redeeming the code. This one here, domain purpose staging.
I'm still seeing a dark screen.
Strange.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
don't
just
see the.
yeah, it's just coming through black. You've been disconnected. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now it's back.
So here on top of the screen, there is domain purpose
Mm-hmm.
staging. Set
Mm-hmm.
the domain purpose to match the domain you claimed. This is
Yeah,
something. Why is it there?
yeah. That's a note for me to say this is the staging environment, and it's also a note to future developers that will stand up their own local environments.
Mm,
Um, so uh, so yeah, when deployed to production, that note goes away altogether. But this gives you a quick way of seeing which environment am I in, and then if you've stood up your own, a little bit of extra nudge to say, well, how do you get to um, yeah, how do you get to the right one? So yeah, there's one particular failure mode that if you've forgotten to set the Vite domain purpose, then this sign in isn't going to work. It's not going to find the right configuration, and so that's just a little nudge. Oh, nothing's working. Check that
mm,
configuration, and all the instructions are in the
yeah.
repository.
Then there was this one. So that's the code which I redeemed already.
Mm-hmm.
This four,
Hmm.
nothing filled out there.
Interesting. Yeah, Did I put in a note? Yeah, I did. I did put in a note. Yeah. So um, the note is primarily so that I can see a list of invitations and see um,
Mm.
what I typed in. So yeah, I created this one for Jan, and I created that one for Dave. Um, so here it uh, yeah, I should just get rid of that line because it wouldn't be helpful for you to see. Yep, this is for Jan. Well, I know. So it's the one
Yeah,
I was
it
given.
might, if there is a mix-up of codes.
Maybe, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So maybe I'll leave that in,
yeah,
but
but
make it
if it
actually
is,
work.
yeah, because so it doesn't, but it avoids confusion. If you get
Hmm.
two codes, or by accident you get a code from somebody else, uh,
Yeah.
you will see. Okay, that was all the things I saw. So,
Okay.
but okay, I started half an hour before we started this session.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
yeah. In half an hour, you were able to get everything set up and create your first application.
that's indeed
Hmm.
the positive,
Yeah.
the positive side. No,
Yeah.
because actually it goes quite fluid. Although I still don't know the fine things of it, I still don't understand the complete thing. But um, you can just ask ChatGPT or the AI, and it
Hmm.
works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. That is what I'm going for. I really want to bridge the gap between the developer and the non-developer. So now, if
mm,
a non-developer can just talk about what they want to accomplish, and then build an app and start
mm.
accomplishing it, it's like that's that's pretty awesome.
I read an
So
article
yeah.
where they said that the number of applications or new applications for iPhones
Mm,
in the place in the iPhone Play
yeah, the
Store,
App
or
Store,
whatever
yeah,
it is called,
or Google Play Store, yeah.
has doubled recently.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yep.
People are suspecting that the reason is AI, but the number of subscriptions hasn't doubled.
Right,
So
yeah. Yep. So yeah,
um,
this model was not intended for yeah,
mm,
automated application creation. Um,
mm,
yeah. So yeah, something's gonna have to change. Certainly the review process, I think has they've they've gradually made the review process easier and easier and lighter and lighter.
mm,
Um, and that even before AI has uh, led to a lot of a lot of slop, a lot of bad apps in
mm,
the App Store. Um, but yeah, now with AI, it's like okay, even this light and simple review process is overwhelmed, and we're letting in a whole bunch of slop.
mm,
So um, yeah, how do we um, how do we give people a way uh, to express themselves and to create the things that they need, but then also keep the store experience uh, really high quality. Uh, yeah, I think they've got their work cut out for them.
mm. Because looking at the number of open source projects, I have the impression that AI helps them building, but the quality
Mm,
is going down.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
it has to be used well in order to keep the
mm,
quality up. That's for sure. And it's a skill that you acquire by using it. I mean, just like any other skill.
mm, yeah.
The first time you build something with AI, you're going to get poor quality. And yeah, even now, yeah, I'm doing all the things right, and I'm practicing the skills. But then every once in a while, um, I'll come across something in the code. It's like, how did that get in there? That's
Mm,
completely a different idea. Um, and what's really frustrating is that when the AI sees something in the code and therefore infers that it was intentional. So it's like, wait, no, that's a bug. It's like, well, in
yeah.
this case, if that is set to this, then the app intentionally goes in this other direction. It's like, no, don't infer intent. That's wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're absolutely right. That was a bug. That's great. trace that through. Where else does that appear? Oh, okay. It
mm,
appears in the documentation right here. Oh, okay. So that
mm.
snuck into a documentation generation. Yeah. So yeah, it's a difficult skill for sure.
Yeah,
So
you really have to keep it in line, and once it goes off, it will document
mhm.
the troubles for the next time to cause them again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can share um, some of the apps that I put together as well. So let's. Okay. So yeah, I am here in Claude Cowork. So um, so now Claude has shifted the Claude desktop home versus code, and while you're in home, it's chat versus cowork. Um,
Mm.
but um, yeah, I've created 3 applications. So list my Jinaga applications, and so these were things. A couple of them were things that I had created with that early release, and then I ported it over. So in order to port them over, I told it to um, uh, write the scratch pad and the manifest to some markdown files, and then I was able to upgrade the server, then log back in. Everything's gone. I say, okay, uh, create a new application and load things from this set of markdown files, including all the data. So, so that was kind of nice. I didn't have to set up any kind of um, migration process. So we've got our conference CFP tracker,
Yeah.
networking
How
activities.
how many workspaces do you have now?
Oh, good question. I should have one, but let's see. Da, 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 da. Yes, yeah, all 3 belong to the same workspace,
Mm.
but how many workspaces? Da, da, da. Yeah, it's inferring that there's only one workspace because all 3 apps belong to that workspace. Um, yeah, okay. That doesn't make any sense though. It should be able to, like it was showing you. I have 2
Yeah.
workspaces. This one has a name, and they're both empty.
How how did it find
Hmm.
that in my case? Um, so there is a tool, explore available tools, list all applications.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and the list applications tool actually should list
yeah,
workspaces with their sub list of applications as well as its name.
yeah,
Um,
that's what it did in my case.
yeah.
Um,
Okay. So it might be inferring based on the name list applications and maybe even the instructions that it lists applications. Um, but uh, but yeah, if we were well, let me
well, just let it run list
yeah,
application and see what it gets back, and then you can
yeah.
see it in the structure.
Yeah, here's the raw output. So actually it does have an array of
Oops,
applications.
another
Hmm.
workspace.
Yeah, and then within each application, we've got the workspace that it belongs to. I thought for sure. I mean, and so, yeah, in your
Um,
case, it would have returned an empty array for applications. Uh,
wait. Um, so I have first applications, which is an empty array.
mm-hmm.
Then I have workspaces.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
how does
I'll
it?
have to go back and see how it's using that specification. So the the specification that it's using is give me all the workspaces, and then for each workspace, give me the applications. And then I told it to do a flat map in order to turn that into a list of applications.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, so um, yeah, and then I also told it to include the list of workspaces, but that might be uh, shielded by a little condition. So it's like, oh, well, in this case that you don't have any applications, we want to show the workspaces. So, um, so yeah,
Okay.
that was probably one of those things that snuck in. It's like, well, how did that get there? That's a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Because in my case, it gives. Wait, I will share it. Then
Okay.
we can share both at the same time.
Yeah. Let me.
Do you see it?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So here
Yep.
you have an empty array of applications,
Mm-hmm.
followed by an array of workspaces, which ends, if I'm correct, which ends here.
Yep. Yep.
So
That's
you
what
have
happened.
this one, and you have this one.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but so in your
Well,
case,
what's interesting though is you've created an application now, so that should be.
no, but that's still
Oh, you went back to.
that's
Okay.
yeah. I went back.
Yep.
So let's try. If I ask it
Yeah.
now, then it will probably not give the workspaces
Mm-hmm.
anymore. If it list all applications, applications.
Yeah. And so now we should be able to inspect the
Um,
results of the tool call.
um, here list. So we have
And no workspaces. Okay, there's the little condition in there.
yeah.
Yeah, because at the time we were solving the problem of you've got workspaces but no applications. How do I know what workspace to build this application in? Um, and
Okay,
so,
so you
well,
have
I
to
needed to use
delete
this.
the applications to see the workspaces.
Yeah.
Okay, then you know where to fix another bug.
Yep. Yeah. Well.
Always list all workspaces, spaces, and applications.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is going. There he is. I think that is going to uh, get absorbed um, into the change for the optimization. So, um, so part of the optimization is going to be to have to have the scratch pad not bound to an application, but instead you can issue commands into that scratch pad, and the commands can start. It can list applications and workspaces and create definitions within a workspace, and so um, the reason for that is so that you can then declare variables, and these hashes that come back to the agent, um, they have a lot of entropy. They take up a lot of attention, and the way that LLMs work is that these for the next tool call to work, the response from the tool has become now input tokens to
Yeah.
the LLM, and then it has to, through the attention mechanism, move those exact input tokens without changing them into a different place in the output. Um, if they and it's all done by weights and linear algebra, um, and so and of course there's the random selection of the output tokens as well. So there's always the chance that somewhere inside of that linear algebra or somewhere in that random selection that one of these tokens gets mutated. So
Then it's not working anymore.
yeah, yeah. So the hash is completely meaningless, and um, yeah, the LLM makes a mistake, um, and it's consumed a lot of tokens in order to do that. So um, so by putting this all into the workspace, or no, not the workspace, the scratchpad, it's able to declare variables for references, even workspace references, even application references, and then it can just get some results. It can uh, it can grab the reference. Um, so uh, so yeah, with the ampersand symbol. Um, yeah, so instead of returning this, the MCP will store that reference in that variable within that scratchpad, and then it could just use that variable to make the next call, and the hash never makes it into the context.
Okay.
So yeah, I think just redesigning that, we'll be able to take care of that problem and optimize for token use and make this thing a lot faster as well. So all of those things are going to be excellent improvements. But let's um, show me. So yeah, one of the applications is the conference CFP tracker. That one has data in it that I'm free to share. Networking activities, that's going to have people's names in it, and billing reporting defect tracker, that's what I'm using for a client. So it's got client data in it. So definitely I don't want to share that one. But show me my CFP opportunities. And so with this one, oh, I guess I can. Oh, it's now going to show me the output every single time. Wait, no, that was just a weird scroll. Ah. Oh, interesting. Got another bug. Okay. Yeah, I've been going through this cycle of when I run into a bug, then I'll go to Claude Code and say, hey, take a look at the logs. Um, so yeah, now I've got uh, another bug in the logs. So yeah, I should just hide the retries rather than expose them to the agent, because the agent retried, but yeah, why waste tokens on retries? So yeah, here are some CFP opportunities that I need to respond to. So the one with the actual nearest deadline is DynamicsCon Regional, August 1st. Yep, about 9 days out. All right, gotta get on that one and submit a proposal. The Atlanta.NET user group. So let's reject the Atlanta.NET user
Next Monday.
group. Yeah. Okay, so ask it to do a rejection, and so that there is an action that it's created specifically for rejections, and then uh, I believe it records the reason as well. It might not record the reason. Let's see. But yeah, call action. So yeah, is now marked as rejected. Reason not traveling. Yep. Yeah. So if we take a look, here's the call. Okay, I am seeing the request and the response. So yeah, Cloud Cowork is showing both. So call the reject conference action. Here's the application reference. And so that in the future would be replaced by just a variable name, uh, low entropy on that. Yeah, and the arguments were the conference and the reason. And so then it said, yep, I created a CFP conference rejected fact. And so if I say, show me the definition of the reject conference action, and then I can see what it actually did behind the scenes. Yeah, so it's got a little bit of guidance for authoring mode versus using mode. So if something can be accomplished with the use mode tools, then it should do that. Oh, keep getting those 502s. Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, the reject conference action takes the CFP conference. So that should be a fact reference. I remember seeing it as a string. I'll put in the. That's weird. It should be a fact reference. So as of date, so right now, we're using string, and then it creates a CFP conference rejected fact. So a very simple action. Some actions create multiple facts and link them together, and some are just create a single fact. And then now if I show me the specification that lists all opportunities, we should be able to see how that fact is used. So now it's getting the definition of the open CFPs without submissions. And so it's saying, give me all the conferences, CFP conference, where conference owner is this user. So again, it's a direct reference to a successor entity. So where there's no submission, and there is no CFP closed, and there is no CFP conference rejected. So by creating that fact, I have now removed it from this result, which is what it told me in plain English up above. But yeah, we can see. Oh, that's nice. It abbreviated. Okay, that might be what happened when it was showing the output. Well, I was looking at the actual underlying code. Weird. Okay, but yeah, here it's abbreviated all of the sub specifications for all the mutable properties of a conference. So yeah, the average user is not going to need to see any of that stuff, but uh, that certainly helps with with somebody who knows how models are supposed to work, and then it can also help if you need to dig in a little bit deeper in order to diagnose something. But my hope is that I'll be able to provide enough reference that it should be able to solve these problems well. So
Normally, yes.
yeah, with this one, um, I have set up a schedule. Let's go to scheduled. Yeah, here we are. Weekly speaking opportunities search. So every Monday at 3 a.m. it it runs this set of instructions. So this is just a feature built into Claude Cowork. So search for new speaking opportunities and add them to the Conference CFP Tracker app. A little bit of constraints for what to search for, the regions, the topics, and yeah, automatically approve all of the tool calls. So so yeah, this ran Monday morning, and that's what pulled in the conference
The
that now I need to
latest. Yeah.
submit a CFP for.
Okay.
So
You can
yeah,
even run it now if you want to.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. So now we should see it show up here. Yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah. So it's just running that query.
And is it gonna add the one that we deleted before back again?
No, it is instructed to. Well, let's find out. But it is instructed um, to look for conferences that are already in there, even if they are
Mm.
rejected or if their CFP is closed. Um, yeah, one thing I intended to add. It looks like it's not in there right now. Let me show more. Oh, yeah, it is. It is in here. So finally, update each CFP in the tracker that has closed according to the published dates, but still appears in the list of open opportunities. So so the open opportunities, that specification, just like any Jinaga specification, is based on
mm,
fact relationships, not based on fields. And so you can't have a specification that says where the close date is less than today. Um, and so instead, what you do is you have some automated process, in this case, an agentic process that is looking for things that should be marked closed and then taking the deliberate action of adding those facts. Yeah, this is also instructed to find at least 3. Uh, somewhere in here. Yeah, so here's the information to not re-add or resuggest any conferences. Um, yeah, I thought I said find at least 3, but I'm not seeing that via a quick scan. Um, but yeah, the idea is that if you don't find 3, then expand the search criteria. Search outside the region. Search in related topics um,
mm.
until you do. Keep expanding until you do find 3. Um, and then that way, at least I'll see something in there, and I'll be able to just reject them and say, no, I'm not going to be, traveling to to California to speak at a user group. But yeah, you can see this process takes a little while because it's doing a whole bunch of web searches. So having this scheduled to run in the evening once a week means that I can just pop this open when I have a chance to work through my uh, my speaking opportunities, and now I've got a punch list. So, okay, there's a URL. I can just click on that. Oh, that one's sessionized. I can just automatically submit an existing talk. Yeah, so looks like it's not going to finish very quickly. But
Um, last time you said that actually all the work is done on the client side.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, but at a certain moment, you wanted to make a local model.
Hmm.
Was that not to be used on the server side?
Yeah. So the local model idea. Yeah. When you're using, for example, cursor. So
Yeah.
so cursor is it's the harness that is running the whole thing, and it's calling out to an LLM, and it's also calling out to an MCP. So yeah, the Jinaga MCP works on my server, and so it's just like any old web application. There's no inference happening there. It's just you're
Mm,
making calls and it's returning things. So it's cheap to run. It's fast. It
mm,
supports an agent, but then Cursor is the harness, and the LLM is the tool that it uses in order to be an agent. Um, so so yeah, you can imagine the next step would be to switch the cursor model to a local model, so a local LLM.
mm,
So yeah, you can install LLMs using several different tools like LM Studio can republish a uh, a local LLM as using a local API that now you can plug into any harness. Um, so so yeah, through you pick one of these local runtimes, and then um, now Cursor is using your local LLM in order to do the inference, and then calling out to the MCP.
yeah. So on the MCP, it's only using the applications and the resources.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just a bunch of tool calls and resources. So it's just HTTP. just regular old database application stuff. Yep, yep. So there's lots of different ways that I want um, to put this together and try different configurations. Like at some point, I do want some inference happening on my server. So so right now I've set up this scheduled process to happen on Claude's on Anthropic's server. So
Mm,
that weekly process is something that just runs on their server. None of my machines have to be on for that to run. Um, and then of course it has access to the MCP, so it's making that HTTP call over to my servers. Um, but but yeah, what if I set up an agentic process that ran whenever a specification returned a result? So
okay.
so now I can say, okay, I I approve that conference submission. So it says, hey, here's this conference. I think this talk would be good for it. Your talk is unsessionized. The conference is unsessionized. And I just say, I approve that. Enter. And said, all right, I recorded that fact that you've approved submitting this talk to that conference. And then on the back end, a, um, a, a specification now returns that approval, and then it starts a workload. So it actually makes that sessionized call. It could be an agentic workload where now there are some instructions for it to use a tool to make the sessionized call, or it might even just
Mm,
be some Python code that I've deployed to the server. And so, okay, when you see this, make that API call, take that result, put it into the
mm.
model, um, and now all that work can just be happening in the cloud. So that's coming in release 3.
Mm.
Yeah, we're still working on release 1, but release 1 is it's it's just about there. Just want to do
That's
this
already some.
optimization and then it'll be ready.
It's already some amazing results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty happy with
Mm.
it.
The fact that it can work out the model on its own.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago, I would never have dreamed about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
I know. Yeah, here I've been trying to teach people how to do this for yeah for a couple of decades now, um,
mm,
and so it's like, you know what, I can teach a machine how to do this, and then it's available to a whole bunch of people, and then they might run into problems, and then they might become experts, or they might find seek out people who become experts, and then so historical modeling is kind of infused into the um, into the ecosystem via this really simple access.
Let's hope it goes that way.
Yeah, let's hope indeed.
Mm,
All right. Well, that is what we've got for this week.
mm.
Yeah. So by next week, I
Well,
expect to have um, the new tool surface ready, and might even
mm,
have published to the app.jinaga.com. Um,
okay.
so
Mm.
then I will open up the private beta to a few other folks.
Okay, if I find anything in between, I will send you a little mail. Mail. Um, you never know
Excellent.
what comes out.
Very nice.
I'll try to be a little bit faster than this week. Good.
Yeah, very good. All
Michael,
right.
thank you very much. And see you next week then.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks, Sean. I'll see you then.
Okay. Bye bye.